now, we have some new information. A man with a gun hijacked a Metro bus and then shot and killed a passenger.
After a wild hour-long chase through downtown, he then barricaded himself inside the bus with hostages. Let's get to KCON News reporter Cara Finstrom joining us live right now at the scene in downtown LA, where we just heard from law enforcement there. And Cara, we learned in that news conference about the death of one of those passengers.
Yeah, sadly confirming that one of those passengers was killed during this pursuit here early this morning. They believe it happened right at the beginning of it. Behind us, you can see the street still sealed off, and we heard a short while ago from an investigator. Listen to this.
The fourth person was found with multiple gunshot wounds in the bus. SWAT officers initiated medical treatment and were almost immediately replaced by Los Angeles Fire Department Thames paramedics. They removed the victim from the bus, transported him to a local hospital where he unfortunately expired.
And this is video of what we saw this morning, the MTA bus flashing emergency 911, call police right across the top. Surreal scene, LAPD cruisers trailing it into downtown LA. A spokesperson for the department says it appears the driver pressed a panic button. That also alerted police. This starting right around 12:45 this morning near Figueroa and Manchester. Officers caught up with the bus, we're told, at Figueroa and 117th Place. Now, when the suspect got on, police say he held the driver at gunpoint. Some of the passengers immediately got off. They say the gunman then ordered the driver to start driving, directing him at times to go in the wrong direction. The LAPD deployed spike strips a number of times, slowing down the bus, an aggressive move. It eventually came to a stop. There were 2 hostages still on board, as well as the driver. The suspect barricaded himself in the bus with them. Now, we do know, again, sadly, one of the passengers has died. The other appears to be okay, very shaken up, also barricaded himself in the bus as this was happening. LAPD says that they did use flashbang grenades as well. Take a look. And this is some video of SWAT entering that bus with their shields held high. Next, what we could see was the driver getting off. He was shaken up, but appears to be physically okay. Metro did put out a statement saying they're very grateful for the LAPD's swift action, that he was unharmed, and they are now providing that operator with the support he needs. Officers also brought off that suspect, one officer holding him on each side. At this point, it's unclear the charges he will face, but again, he is in custody at this point. All of this remains shut down, and we are awaiting a little more information from investigators who will continue to kind of put all of these pieces together. But the sad news that has been confirmed is that one of these passengers died. Again, the detectives believe this happened at the beginning of this incident this morning.
Yeah,
this is horrible.
Awful to hear. And Cara, do we know by any chance if the person who was shot and killed had any kind of relationship with that shooter, with that suspect, or was this just a passenger on the bus this morning?
The person who was shot and killed, they believe, was a passenger on the bus. We don't know if they had any connection to the shooter. They haven't identified any of the people who were involved in this yet. At this point, still working on that. Also want to note that the detective that you just heard from, the investigator, he said that they really wanted to applaud the actions of this bus driver who for about an hour continued to steer this bus forward in a very stressful situation to try and not cause further harm to that passenger that was still left on the bus. So I'm sure we'll be learning much more about that. But there were several other passengers on the bus who somehow were able to get off as this continued.
Yeah.
Wow.
Terrifying.
That's incredible.
All right, Cara Finstrom, thank you so much for that update.